there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bosk's Bounty video. And in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Klatooinian Raider. And as you can see there, he's looking pretty glorious on his new card back. Many of you will know that we have already had this figure. He was packed in with the AT-ST that you could get in that Mandalorian box. I think that was released in 2019, I want to say. And I do have that figure here. And I wasn't actually going to be opening this one in this video, but I've changed my mind because I've taken a quick look at the figure and there are some different paint apps in terms of the colours that they've used. So the one that I've got already is almost like a variant of it, really. I guess because of different factories and the time difference between the original release and this one, they were going to use different, colour paints, very slight differences anyway. And I think this one's different enough to open it up and have two of the Klatooinian Raiders that look ever so slightly different. Also, you get to see this figure in this video as well, which is something that I always like to do anyway. I never really like to do a video where I don't open up the figure and show you what the figure can do, basically. But anyway, the main thing I really wanted to talk about the most is the card back, because I absolutely love what they've done here with the image of the AT-ST Raider there on the card back rather than the character. However, you can see a few of them sort of running in between the legs there, but this really does sort of hark back to the original Kenner line. We know that they've done this with various figures like the A-Wing pilot and the B-Wing pilot, TIE Fighter pilot, but also, of course, with the AT-ST driver. So this is classic. This is definitely them harking back to this. This was awesome, awesome card back, this one back in the day. And yeah, I just love the way that they've done that. And also, I love the moodiness of the shot. It's nighttime. You've got the light coming down from that AT-ST Raider, and I just think it's a really, really nice card back. Back of the card on this one, he is VC266 in the line, and I've reviewed all of these figures now from this wave. They're all on the channel if you want to see those, also along with Darth Vader and the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure as well. I've done all of those. They are all on the channel. So yeah, let's have a look at that card back one more time. I just love the idea of doing that. And also, I think this is a smart repack at the end of the day. A lot of people didn't really want to get the AT-ST because they've got them already, or it's a bit expensive, or maybe they just wanted the figure and he wasn't carded, so they just didn't bother. But, I think this is a good release, putting him back out there for all the people that weren't able to get him. All right then, so let's open up the figure now and we'll check him out and we'll compare him against the one that came with the vehicle. All right then, so here he is out of the packaging next to his counterpart. Now the one on the left of your screen is the one that was originally packed in with the AT-ST, and the one on the right is the new one that was on card. And immediately you'll notice on the headdress of the figure, the silver paint that they've used is a lot deeper. It's a deeper silver, it's more shiny, it's not so dull, and I think it looks a lot better. However, I would say on the strapping across the face of the old version, there is a bit more sort of weathering going on, which they haven't applied to that one so much, as you can see. Also, on the body of the original, the body paint is more of like a really dark green, almost brown colour. Same with the legs, whereas this guy is much more of a brown colour. You'll see the body there is brown, the legs are brown, whereas these ones are like a muddy green, almost brown colour. So this one, the body, the original body underneath all of this was the original Weequay figure. It's that sort of tubing effect that they've got there on that figure. That body was used for the Weequay. And this paint scheme seems to match that a little bit more, I think. I think this one is, more of a deeper brown colour. You can see there that the weathering on the little skirts here, or those rags in front of his legs, is painted ever so slightly different as well. I think this one is a bit more understated, if you like, whereas this one's got a lot more black paint on there. As I said, the legs on this guy are more of a greeny brown. The rest of it is pretty similar, basically. The pistol in the holster, very similar. What you will also see is that this guy's holster and his belt and everything is a much more of a deeper brown than this one. And this one's a lot lighter. So I think it's a good thing that I've actually got two sort of different versions of this figure. Essentially, it's the same figure, obviously. But, these guys were in like a bit of a clan. Of course, they're dressed the same, but maybe you could have one without the headgear, one with. You could maybe use them for customizing or what have you. If the figures were exactly the same in every single detail, paint and everything, then I probably wouldn't have bothered opening up this new guy here, but you know, I thought, what the hell, I think he's different enough to do so. Looking at the back of the figure, you can really see the headgear, the gunmetal grey that they've used is a lot shinier on this one compared to this one. This is much more matte. This one is far more rich indeed. Also, you can see that I had a bit of paint missing on his shoulder on the original one. You can see the brown coming through, whereas this one is painted much, much better. You get a real thick lick of paint on that particular figure there. So that's pretty good as well. And also you can see that the weathering on his underskirt, once again, just like on the front, is, you know, a little bit more natural than that, I would say. I think that's a bit too heavy in my opinion. There again, you will see the back of the figure as well. This is definitely a more of a greeny brown colour, and this one's more of a brown. But you can see the green coming through. I just think the brown's been more heavily used on the new figure. Also, what you'll notice is that these annoying little sort of date stamps, or, you know, factory stamps that they put on the original figure, it is a bright white code number there on the back of his leg, whereas this guy, they've hidden him right between his legs there, and you can hardly see it as well. So they're learning to do that sort of thing, because obviously you don't really want your figure having that on there, really. I think, you know, the fact that they've hidden that is a good thing. Just to give you a really nice close-up image of the figure and all of the detail. I mean, it's got to be said, it's a great sculpt, this one, isn't it? With all of those sort of bandages or what have you, rags hanging down from the helmet over the head. You can take that off. It is removable. And there is his head, looking pretty cool. Some nice detailing on that sculpt, and the paintwork's pretty good as well. Just see around there, you can really see that sort of deep silver on his shoulder pads there, on that armour, and all that sculpting work on the chest. That blaster isn't removable or anything, it's just part of the sculpting. And there you go, you see his sort of rags or whatever that hang down from his belt, come down to his legs. And in terms of articulation, I mean, you know, it's not a sort of brand new figure or anything. It is parts that they've used from previous figures, most notably the Weequay, as I mentioned before. That sort of effect there is definitely from the Weequay figure. The head is on a ball hinge, but you don't get a massive amount of motion there. He does have ball hinge shoulders, and he has the hinge at the elbows. No hinge at the wrist, just the swivel. He only has the swivel hips, and then he has the knee joints and the ankle joints with no rocker ankle or anything like that. So, as I said, it is a figure that they've sort of kit bashed from other figures. This is soft here, though, which is pretty good, which obviously helps with the articulation of the shoulder. So that's like a soft plastic that can lift right up on there. The blaster that he comes with is the classic Palace blaster there, just gunmetal grey, nothing too extraordinary there, but, you know, nice detailing on the sculpt. Alright then guys, so that's my review of the Klatooinian Raider for the Vintage Collection on his own card back, now in the main line. So obviously anyone that missed out on that ATST Raider can now get the Klatooinian Raider by himself. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also don't forget to watch the other videos of the other reviews from the figures from this wave. They are all on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support means a great deal to me as always. Thanks so much for watching, and we shall see you on the next one.